you, Penny. Thank you, Barbara. So, I'd like to start this talk with a truth that every product team knows. The relationship between the product owner and the team lead is a little bit complicated, right, Gabriel?
Yes, sometimes we are like very aligned. We are targeting the same thing. But sometimes, yes, it's like a boxing fight.
Yeah, and I will be honest. Usually it's me starting the fight when I come up with a new request and say, come on, Gabriel, this is an easy one, just a small change. Why are you asking for 4 iterations to deliver it?
And you all know what that means, right? My dev friends, a small change is never a small change.
Yeah, but after some rounds of negotiation and maybe a couple of debates, we find a way to make it happen.
Yes,
Right?
she comes with user experience insights. I go with some software architecture and engineering things, and we find something in the middle. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How this synergy between product and team lead and engineering made Liferay objects move from a simple data storage engine to become like a real thing that you can build real production products, okay? So, in the beginning, objects was considered as like, okay, it's just a playground where I can create some objects, do some crude things, create, get, and that's it. For a real thing, I want service builder. Come on, don't take service builder out of me. But that's not the case anymore, okay? Object has become like a real ecosystem where you can trust and build your application on top of it. So, of course, we keep evolving the data persistence layer. We are evolving our caching thing. We are doing improvements in this matter. But we are also providing more than that. Like we have validations, we have actions where you can insert your business logic and so on. And this year, we focused on the user experience when it comes to content. So we've improved our integration with the form container. We've improved also how we deliver these entries through the headless API, UI, how we import, export, like Carlos mentioned earlier, and improved our integration with the friendly URL framework, along with some improvements in the action side and integrations with external tools. Now we have connectors that you can use inside Camunda that will connect straight to the Liferay objects and make this interaction between Camunda and Liferay DXP. Okay, but from where these come from? We receive daily requests and questions from customers, partners, community. Questions like this, like how can I localize my entry values? How can I build a public website, for example, where I can have multiple language pages on it using objects, using the content UI story. Also, from the last DevCon, I think some of you were there, we have an unconference topic talking about the friendly URL inside objects. It used to be like fixed. It used to be just the ID, and you could not customize it, but this has changed. Another one is it possible to have my entries respecting permissions and workflow from a root entry? And what is a root entry? It's a main object of your application, and you want all the children, all your children objects to respect this single main one object. I will talk about later with some examples. And the final one is like, do I have to implement features that we already know from web content, like scheduling, versioning, subscription on my own inside objects, or do I have a way to have it out of the box? So these are a set of features that we've implemented during this year. the root model or inheritance model concept, localization for entries, friendly URL, scheduling, subscription, delivery API, that is a way for you to provide your entry that are just approved. So along with versioning, if you have your last version expired or draft, you don't want for this entry to be available to the end user. So this delivery API make this logic and just deliver the approved ones. And some improvements on the import-export engine. So let's start with the inheritance model concept, what it is. Imagine you have an application that you want to have a unified model. So that's what I was talking. You have a main object there. You have the configurations, permissions, workflow process of this main object, and you want to configure it in a single place. So this is what the inheritance model on an object does, and you can group every endpoint in a single API. So here is an example. Imagine a venue that hosts some conferences. So this is my main object. One conference can have many tracks. One track can have many sessions. So imagine this venue is creating the DevCon entry, and I want to give the Liferay organizer the permission to edit it. I don't want to go to the tracks and configure and give the same permissions. I don't want to go to the sessions and do the same. I want to do it in a single place. So that is how root model works. I can go there and say, hey, DevCon, Mariela has access to edit it, and she will have access to the tracks, to the sessions for edit them as well, and all the configurations you do in the conference root model. So here's how you can create it. It's just creating a relationship between these objects, and you must categorize it as a one-to-many relationship, and then you can enable their inheritance one, and done. This child object will respect the configurations from the parent, okay?
Yeah, and for localization, it's not new, but actually we made it even better. Previously, it was only possible to localize text fields, and now we expanded the capability to other field types, like Boolean, numeric, pick lists. And why is this important? Because now we are enabling our customers to really build multilingual application without needing customizations. Next one. And we have also friendly URL, which Gabriel already mentioned, that it's something that is being requested for a while. And what is this? Instead of having ID-based URLs, now we enable the admin user to select a field for the object to be automatically the URL. And he also can give this ability to the end user to customize the URL for the entry, making it easier to share and improving the usability. Schedule. I believe that for the schedule one, most of you are already familiarized because it's something that I already have in other contents in Liferay, but we are bringing this capability to objects. And the idea is that you will be able to set any specific date for your entry to be displayed, reviewed, or expired. It's especially good for use case where time is a sensitive matter, like announcements, campaign, and policies. Yeah, and also we have a new field type, which the assignee. The assignee for the entry will be the temporary responsible for it, and it can be a user or a role, and the edit permission will be given and revoked automatically, making the process smoother and helping collaboration. We have also subscription, Once a user subscribes to an entry, he will be notified every time this entry is updated or expired. It's perfect to keep stakeholders informed. Next. And last, but not less important, we have versioning. With versioning, every change in your object entry will record a new version in the database. And the users will be able to access past states for this entry and also to restore it when needed.
Yes. And this is our mantra now for Liferay. It's build Liferay with Liferay. When I say this, it's like for sure. So, as an example, we have this new feature called dataset. It is on the release feature flag. And we didn't use service builder to make it. The persistence layer of it is object, and it is already using the root model concept. So here is the schema. They have this main object called dataset, and they have the list, filter, sort, everything, and every one of them will respect the configuration from the parent, okay? And it is already working, it is already released. And of course, the new CMS, the huge topic for the morning. Everything like CMS is fully on top of objects. So every content you have there, every file you have there is an object, and almost every feature you have there is on top of object. Versioning, subscription, what else? Everything is leveraging object framework, and we are releasing it. So build Liferay with Liferay it's for real for us. And demo time. First, I'm just going to introduce the use case. We are bringing a compliance management use case. I think you all know this. The companies typically have to manage policies that the employees must read and accept. Okay? And coming from HR, IT, finance. And we did it, actually, this weekend with low code, so just clicking, just configuring data sets, objects, and we use the features that we've mentioned here. So this is what we are going to show now, but here are the personas, just to give a pitch so we can go through them. We have the VP of the fictional company, Andy Bernard. He has access to everything, so he can check who accepted or not, he can check the policies, and so on. We have the compliance program owners. These are the ones responsible to edit the policies and create them and manage them for each one of the department, let's say this. And we have 2 employees that they have to accept or not the policy, right? Okay, now please to the demo.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, this is the page. We know we have a master page there. It's fine. Let's go to sign in as Andy. Oops. Andy is the VP, so he can see every page, he can see everything. My password, you all know my password of 4-letter words. Okay, and here we have the pages, right? This is the page, the page that every user, every employee will see. So here we have 2 compliance programs, and one compliance program can have multiple policies, okay? So here, as published, we have 2 compliance programs. But here I have the admin page of the compliance programs. And if I click here, I can see all of them and actually manage all of them. So this is an admin page where I can edit or not. And here we have one expired. Okay, so we've configured, we schedule there a date for it to expire, and it is not available anymore. And here we have a draft one. Okay, so these ones cannot be available to the end users. That's why in this page we have only 2. Okay. Actually, I'm going to sign in as the admin so we can check the model first. Okay, now I have access to this. I won't change my password. We can go here in objects. We have here the folder with those 4 objects, and we can view the model builder here. Okay, that's it. We have the root model, that is the compliance program, okay? That is a set of policies. So inside a program, I have multiple policies, okay? And inside a policy, I have multiple attachments. So these objects here are in the same tree of the root model. So the attachment will respect the compliance program permissions and configurations, okay? And related to a policy, I have the acknowledgement object, and it is not in the same tree, as you can see here. If I click here, the enable inheritance is off for this. Why? Because actually the employees will be changing this acknowledgement object, so it must not respect the program permissions and so on. I want it detached from the tree so I can manage the permissions for it itself, the workflows, the integration with external system. So this is why, and you can do it. You can have mixed relationships. And I have the user here, okay? So going back. Wait. So this is the system. I've just shown the programs I have here. If you get into the program, this is the finance and procurement one. We have 2 policies inside it. And if we click the policy, we have the terms here, and we have some attachments, okay? So this is the delivery API.
And you can see that the URL is not ID-based, it's readable.
Yes, here you can like just share. Now we've configured it not to be an ID. It is the external reference code, and you can just share it easily. Good. Here the admin or Andy has access to the all acknowledgements. So we have these ones created that Angela and Jim must accept. Let's log in as one of them. Let's say Jim. Okay, and Jim, as you can see here, he can only check the compliance programs, the 2 ones that are published, approved. And he has the my required acknowledgements that are the ones that are assigned to Jim. So as he is the assignee of this one, he can edit this entry. So I can click here, read it, and click on accept. This accept button is an object action that I built it there, just clicking. And when I click here, done. I used to have 4, now I have 3. If I accept this one again, I just have 2. What that means, when he do it, our action changed the assignee, and he cannot edit anymore, okay? Because we changed it, so he loses the permission access for it. Okay, now let's log in as Angela, because Angela is a Spanish speaker. So we have everything translated here, and with the localization that we added for objects, we can render the entries localized. So the title, and here you can see that the body of the policy is also localized because the field is localized there. And she also has the policies for her to accept and read. For all these pages, we are using the dataset feature, so we are tying it with the endpoints from objects, and we can customize the fields, we can customize the columns, the filters, the sort, everything we did it with dataset. And also these actions, so I can create an action there linked to my object action, and when I click here, done, my action also runs. I can briefly display here the action for you. CMS, acknowledgement. So if you go here to actions, we can see that we have two. This one is out of the box, is a system action, is assigned to me. So when you click it, you can assign this entry to you if you make it available for the user to do it. There is a permission related to it. And we have this accept action, custom action that I've created. Is a standalone action, so we can tie to a button, we can hit an endpoint, and it will be executed. And what it does, it changes the current entry. So we are changing here the assignee, we are removing it from the entry. We are changing the accepted Boolean field to true, saying okay, this is accepted. And we are changing the date that it was accepted to the current date. And also here, we could add any other actions to send something to Camunda, to whatever you want. We have, for example, the webhook action here that you can do almost anything and send bodies and process, integrate with external systems. So this is a whole ecosystem that you can do with objects. Of course, this can be done with CMS. This is a perfectly content example. But since everything from CMS is an object, you can visualize it here as well, add actions, add validations. So everything in the same ecosystem, as I said. So what's next, Anna?
Yeah, what's next? Next. So we are working on portability improvements. As Pablo mentioned, we are trying to make it easier for you to move data, move object entries from staging to production environment. We are also working on improvements for the overall performance for the objects.
Yes, we are implementing a lot of performance tests, checking bottlenecks, improving caching, improving things that we see that we can change it there. So we are tuning in this way as well.
Yeah, and every test we are doing is based on real scenario use cases. Next. Based on the mantra for Liferay, which is building Liferay with Liferay, we are also revamping our calendar, and it will be fully built on top of objects. And also on top of objects, we will have a content marketing platform, which is an easy way for you to manage and plan marketing campaigns related with your asset, with your content.
And remembering what Marco Leo said this morning, this coming next is the next month. So in the next 2 or 3 months, this is the plan. It's not for the year. It's like for real soon.
Yes. And that's it. Everything we presented here for you today was made with collaboration between product, design, engineering, and of course, the feedback from all of you. Thank you all for being part of the journey.
Thank you, guys.